What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome to Song Trust Songwriting 101. Today, we're going to be talking about the art and business of writing records. We have some very special guests with us today. So real quick, let's just go over the agenda. We're going to be talking about all things songwriting, from co-writing, landing placements, everything that entails. We're also going to be talking about the business side of music, splits, royalties, music publishing, and we will touch briefly on the different types of music publishing deals that are available to creators. Let's get right into the intros. My name is Ben O'Connell. Worked at Songtrust for about 2 years now. I'm an A&R. I do artist outreach here. And outside of my job at Songtrust, I also manage a few artists, writers, and producers. Woo, what's up?
Cool. So, you guys probably see my face. For Woo Johnson, I wear a few hats. So, one end of it, I'm A&R with Songtrust. I kind of head the Atlanta division here, publishing specialist. So, I take care of all that for Songtrust. And then outside of Songtrust, I kind of manage and A&R the whole upper class of music situation with A.M. Keys, Grammy nominated with Grammy Award producers at this point. So, also manage 5 producers, 1 writer, 1 artist. So, like I said, wear a few different hats. I'm going to turn it over to a special guest. I'm excited to have them here. 2 good close friends of mine. One of the mentors, one of the brothers. So I guess we can start with Sean. Let the people know where you're from, your catalog, give them a quick little synopsis of who you are, where you're from, and how you kind of came to who you are.
Yeah, Smash on the radio. I pinned it. You already know what it is. What's up, man? It's your boy Sean Garrett, man, aka the Pen, man. I'm really happy to be in the room. Been just working and doing music for a minute. My first single, Hot 100 number ones. You might know some of them. The first one was Yeah, Usher's Yeah, Sierra's Goodies, Beyonce's Step Up On It, Destiny's Child Soldier, Lose My Breath, Chris Brown's Run It, Give Me That, Ain't No Way, Wall to Wall, Mary J. Blige, No More Crying, Pussycat Dolls, Buttons, Fergie's London Bridge, Enrique Iglesias, DeMilo. The list goes on and on. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's Sean Garrett, the hit maker, the super producer. We're gonna turn it over to my bro, Derrick Milano, who's been going crazy as of lately. So Derrick, let the people know who you are, where you're from, kind of give them a little bit of your placement, and we're gonna dive into the next. We're gonna dive right into it.
What's up, y'all? Derrick Milano, Philadelphia. I'm trying to get like Sean. I'm almost there soon. Got about maybe 10 more years till I get to that point. I did
Yeah. You're not there yet. Nah, I'm playing.
So the records I worked on: Hot Girl Summer, Savage Remix with Beyonce, Pop Smoke, Christopher Walken, She Got a Thing, Nicki Minaj, Yikes, Press for Cardi B, Kevin Gates, Me Too. Just a lot of stuff. Kiana Lede, Kiki's album, worked on that as well. And yeah. So interesting.
So yeah, we got two like jokes in my eyes. I'm definitely proud of you guys' journey, what you guys are doing, just for the culture of the music. So Ben, let's go ahead and let's dive right into it. I want to kind of go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. That's what the people are here for.
Yes, sir.
So, getting started, Sean, we can start with you. So, obviously, both of you guys started out, as an artist. So let's kind of talk about transitioning into a songwriter and kind of what was that first aha moment for both of you guys that was like, I can really be a songwriter. This can be a full-time career from transitioning from being an artist.
Well, I mean, I signed my first record deal. Well, we'll go back a little further. I'm actually from Atlanta, Georgia, Campbellton Road. I actually moved to Europe when I was like 5 years old. My dad was in the military. My mom worked for the government. So I actually been doing music ever since I was like 3 or 4 years old. I signed my first record deal when I was 14 in Europe. And basically, I was on stage at 12 years old. So when I came back to the States, to be very honest, there was really no transition from me as an artist to being a hit maker, because I really must say I never really even got the chance to take off as an artist, to really say I put 1,000% into myself as an artist. I was fortunate enough to my second record out ended up being the number 14 song on the greatest hits of all time, Hot 100 list right now today, which was Usher's Yeah. And my first 10 singles after that was Hot 100 number one. So I didn't get a chance to actually say I made a transition. To be very honest with you, that wasn't even my MO. You know, unfortunately, I lost my mother like a year before I did Yeah in 2002. And you know, when you lose your mother, it's it's a life-changing event. So you know, I just really went into survival mode in reference to, you know, my next decision of what I was going to do in my life after, you know, dealing with that, you know, unfortunate loss of my mom. And I was actually, you know, a lot of people was asking me like, yo, you should write songs for other people too. Like damn, your artist shit is dope. But why don't you write songs for other people? And I was just like, I don't write songs for other people. I don't really do that. Like I don't. That's not what I'm on. And and it's just so ironic that when my mother passed, it was something that she used to always say to me, like, yo, dog, you don't you know, never put all your eggs in one basket. You're multi-talented. You can do a lot of things. And I didn't really know when she was saying that to me then that's my mother knew what her destiny was and knew what my destiny was. And the moment you lose, you know, your mom is just like everything that she said you remember. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like losing something and remembering everything that it was when it was there in your hand that was tangible. And so I started applying everything that she told me um, the moment I lost her. So anyway, I moved back to Atlanta. Um, I started getting all these requests to sign a publishing deal, and I ended up doing my deal with Hitco Publishing with my man Shakir Stewart, God rest his soul, and Billy. I signed my deal in September 2003. In December 2003, I teamed up with my dog Lil Jon, and we put a record out, did a record on, in my eyes, one of the greatest R&B artists ever, Usher Raymond, and put my man Ludacris on the record, and he changed the world.
No, all right, so we're gonna keep it right there because we're gonna get to more. I want to get to Derrick, but that's Sean's story. Like I said, we're gonna tap into more into that as we go along. So Derrick, moving over to you, let's talk about, because I know you was in Orlando, party promoting, rapper, artist. So let's talk about that transition from, you know, you from an artist to being a prominent songwriter that you are today. What was that journey?
Yeah, so kind of similar. Like I was doing my artist stuff, and I understood that sometimes you can't always, like Sean said, put your eggs in one basket. And I always was trying to figure out what would be the next step to get into something. So as soon as I graduated from high school, I went to college, and I was like, damn, how am I gonna get like DJs and club people to kind of get in tune with what I got going on in my music? So I ended up studying hosting and DJs and party promoting, so I could be, you know, kind of like looked at as the light while the club night is going on, and kind of get my music in the mix. So I started doing that and was pushing my music through that. And then, you know, dealing with this music business, you start running into different situations as, oh, your numbers ain't that high, or somebody might not think you have the image of this particular artist. So I was like, all right, well, I got to figure something out. I was putting music out. And then my mom also told me, you know, you should think about songwriting. And I told her, like, nah, like, these people write their own music. Like, why would I, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to songwrite. To this day, like, I treat it like my artist stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. I went to Atlanta. Shout out to Medea Mathers. She brought me to Atlanta, introduced me to Chris Jones. I was in Atlanta every day. Met Sean. He put me on game with certain stuff. Chris Jones and Sammy had me working on a whole bunch of like stuff at Main Street. And when I was there, I ran into Brooklyn Johnny, Daryl Jones, Lon Ray, and they brought me in on Cardi B. So, you know, I didn't really know what the approach was gonna be, but I knew that I was in the right place at the right time and I had to deliver. So as soon as I got there, I was like, all right, bet. Let me knock these songs out. And then, you know, it kind of went from just doing demos to we might actually use this. So when the situation started moving like that, you know, I was kind of like, all right, well, I need to go to LA, and I really need to focus and kind of put my artist stuff to the side and really get my foot in the door as a writer and get my leverage in the building, so that when I get into the building, it's a different conversation. I'm not going to be talked to as an artist or somebody that raps. I'm going to be talked to as an executive, as an A&R, as a songwriter, as an executive producer. And that was like my goal. So now, you know, it's kind of going towards my direction because I'm able to have conversations with the CEOs. I'm able to have conversations with the artists, the A&Rs, and still have that respect level and move as, you know what I'm saying, as an asset to a label instead of a liability.
Right. So Sean talked about, you know, it was kind of like the aha moment for him. It was like, oh, this can be a career. What was that for you?
I can't really speak on the song, but it was a record for Cardi B.
Okay.
That was my moment. This was for Cardi B was like, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, hottest victories. You know, everybody was talking about it. It was a viral song for her. And you know, that was kind of like people were trying to know, like, damn, who is this person? Like, who is this? Because I had just started. Like, I was a brand new face, and like for me to come into the music business as a writer, I try to move different. I try to dress different. I try to have a different approach, because the typical image for a songwriter, you know, was kind of like laid back, kind of quiet. I kind of move loud. Like I want to make sure what I work on is like kind of like known and people know, because I'm not able to put my stuff out. So it's like, okay, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna put something out or I'm gonna work on something, y'all gonna have to know. It's not gonna just be I'm gonna be a ghostwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta move. Like shout out to the Sean Garretts. I gotta move like the hit makers. I gotta move like the people who actually put their stuff out and work on records, and people be like, oh, that's their sound. Well, you can tell who did that. So
dope. So Ben, let's go right into the next topic. Just kind of wanted to get, you know, the beginning stages. Now we really want to kind of dive into the nitty-gritty. I think most people are here for to really kind of learn from you guys to educate them on just the business side, co-writing, all of that placement. So, all right. So, co-writing and placements, right? So, Sean, can you hear me good? You good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, like I said, we're going to go into this next topic. We're going to kind of dive into, you know, songwriting and placement. So what I see you guys do, like songwriting for me is like, it's an art. It's a special kind of art. And I feel like both of you guys are geniuses. So let's talk about like, how are you guys able to give artists a sound that they may not even know or can create on their own? How are you able to kind of see what they need for themselves that they may not see in that current moment? Like, what is the art of that? What is the thought process when you locking in with an artist and you're giving them a sound that's going to elevate them, that they culinary the song for themselves?
you know, so I kind of, for me, it's certain artists who I'm like, if I'm gonna work with you, I gotta be a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta like your music. I gotta really. It can't just be something. You know, sometimes the check might be right, but all money ain't good money either. You know, I gotta really enjoy the music if I'm gonna lock in and give my time to an artist. So a lot of the time, I try to like understand their sound and not try to take them too far away for what their fans love them for. I feel like a lot of these artists have core fan bases, and a lot of their artists love them for certain sounds. And when they start going away from it and trying other stuff, it kind of takes away from what people love them for it until it gets to that point where it's accepted. So for me, getting in with the artist, I really try to understand their vibe and catch how they are, and really, like I said, study how their fans gravitate to their music. And I just try to enhance already what they're doing and just put it on a bigger level. So, like, for example, working with Pop Smoke. When Steven Victor hit me up about Pop Smoke, he was like, "Yo, I got this new artist. I feel like you and him could make some crazy stuff." He sent it to me. At first, I didn't really get it. I didn't understand it. Me and Nicki Minaj were in the studio, and DJ Booth called her and was like, "Yo, it's this record that Pop Smoke wants to get you on. Welcome to the party." So she was like, "I never heard it before." So I heard it. She asked me, and I heard. I said, "Yeah, I heard it for us." I said, "It's different, but it could work." So we played it. She ended up cutting the remix, and then the song came out. And then Steven hit me again and was like, "Yo, I'm about to send you some stuff, some beats that I like for Pop. What you think?" So I said, "You know what? Let me actually listen to him." So I heard this record that he had called PTSD, and when I heard it, it sounded like 50 Cent, and 50 Cent's my favorite rapper. So when I first heard it, I said, "You know what?" I said, "Okay, so if I didn't have the chance to work with 50 Cent," I said, let me get in with Pop and try to enhance that sound and really try to like make it how 50 had did his transition." So the first record that I worked on was the Christopher Walken one. And I was experimenting, throwing little stuff in there like the window shopping just to see how it would catch. And to be honest, the sound is just it was so cool for him, and his voice was so like fire. You didn't really want to take him far left. He still had to make music. He still had to make music that was still like him. You get what I'm saying? So, I didn't really want to go far left. So, like I said, when I get in with an artist, I really got to tap in and really try to just enhance already what they're doing and just kind of help them lead them to a more of a mainstream level. So it just doesn't sound like the same song every time.
Absolutely. That's dope. That's good information. And Sean, I mean, like I said, you work with some of the greats. I feel like, you was played a vital role in like Chris Brown, giving him the records that you did with them. So it's like, what's your thought process? How are you able to give an artist a sound or a certain record that they may not even know, that they needed at that time?
A lot of the artists that I work with, where like I have a different perspective of like creating, because I feel like people don't generally call me. They might call Derrick before they call me. And the reason why is because they generally call me when they need something that's going to change the game, or they need something that's going to affect culture in a different type of way. And I'm really very comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really the type of artist. I mean, I'm not the type of creative that. My favorite producer or producers are Pharrell, Timberland, Swiss Beats. One of my favorite artists, believe it or not, one of my favorite artists is Drake. Another one of my favorite artists is Future. So I like those type of people because I'm a very like disruptive type of creative. You know what I'm saying? So I like to do shit that's like disruptive and just go against the grain and don't sound like shit else on the radio, or it changes culture. Like, I'm really a cultural changing type of thinker, right? And so I'm cool with being gone for like a year or two and then coming back and shocking the world. Or I'm cool with like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just I'm not really a go with the flow type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really that guy. I'm really the type of person who, like, medium mild shit is just not really like what I'm on. I'm really on that super fire shit that's like, you don't want to fuck the game up. Excuse my French. I want to rock the world. I want to change how they breathe. I want to change how they walking. You know what I'm saying? I want to be innovative And that's not to knock anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with coexisting. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, because I know, like, I love working with somebody like Beyonce, because Beyonce gave me the opportunity to be as wild and native as I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Or there's some new artists out here that really want to be legends. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for them. I like working with them. Chris Brown, I knew Chris Brown was gonna be a legend when I first went in the studio with him. I knew he was gonna be a legend because Chris has the work ethic of, like, he was 15, he was 16. Scott Storch, me and Scott Storch, we bumped heads at first because we both are some really cocky type of, cockiness is needed when you're in the music business, because it's like everybody's egotistical, and it's almost like, you know what I'm saying, when you rise to a certain occasion. Scott Storch had already did Baby Boy, which I love. Baby Boy, freaking that record. Or Beyonce had already did she had do Crazy in Love. She had already did that. So when you working with people of that value, all those people have, like, they already have sound, foundational, moralistic values. They're not going to compromise. They're not going to get outside of those values. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, quick money ain't good to me. I never did this for money. I never did it for money. I never even cared about doing this for money. I wanted to be a legend from the first day. I wanted to be a legend. I never even cared about making money. I never cared about being on the radio. I wanted to shock the world. You feel me? So my perspective of working with greats was just, it's like every great I work with, it just clicked. Like, even Sierra Goodies, like, Sierra was like, she didn't have the, like, she had certain things, like her dance ability was the girl next door. Like, my little sister next door was just a dope young girl who paid attention to the TV, and she, like, Sierra was like a girl who watched 106 in Park every day, and she was talented, but she might not have been. I want to say this in the right way, because I think Sierra is the most adored. Like, she's a great performer, but she wasn't. But performing was more her thing than a singer. She could sing, but she's not a singer. You feel me? So, but I buy into the talent of global love. Like, I knew globally they would. She's just a girl from Atlanta, but she had a global. She had that star in her eye. You feel me? She wasn't trying to do this for money, and she wasn't trying to just be on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in that. I ain't interested in just being on. I'm interested in legacy. I'm interested in, like, changing the world. So, Chris, I ended up being lucky enough to break Chris Brown and to break Sierra. And these were two young artists who were very hungry. They were extremely hungry, and they paid attention to everything that was going on. So, working with them it was totally opposite. We're working with Usher and Beyonce was totally opposite. We're working with Chris Brown and Sierra. But there was one line of accordness amongst all of them. They all had that thing in their eye that they were global, international superstars. They all had the same view. They all spoke the same language, and I get along with those type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? More so than here today, going tomorrow perspective. I need to get this money. You know what I'm saying? I need to get this money. You're gonna get this money if you do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you believe, if you mindful enough to understand the steps of becoming great. And that's just kind of the perspective that I took. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock anybody. I've never been a hater. I've never been a person who would put nobody down. I just always been competitive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always with the competitiveness, but my perspective is always in, I want to change the world. And I think sometimes that rub people the wrong way because your aggressiveness to be great is much higher than what they can even think. So maybe that rub people the wrong way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just always wanted to be great, and I wanted to share that greatness with some of the greats. You know what I'm saying? And so like looking up to people like Pharrell or Timberland or Swiss Beats. Like when I first met Swiss Beats, he was the first producer that.
Hold on, 'cause I want to. You said something. I want to move over to Derek. You kind of talked about, there was a clear difference in working with, Usher, Chris Brown, Sierra early on. So that was kind of like my next topic I wanted to go into. And I'm gonna move it over to Derek because we want to keep the conversation moving. But for you also, Derek, like you don't work with Justin Bieber, you don't work with, Chris Brown, Pop Smoke. Talk about how are you able to kind of change your style, like depending on the artist with you, the versatility. Let's talk about how you're able to tap into different bags or just, different genres for that particular artist that you're working with.
Really just being an artist. I treat it like if I'm doing a feature and I'm getting on somebody else's song. Like working with Bieber on Available with Pooh Bear was like, it was a situation where it's like, okay, how can we make this record like still Justin Bieber, but still have a twist to it? And even like working with Beyonce on the Savage remix, like, getting her and tapped in and getting her tuned into what's really going on in the culture. Because at this point, she's up here. So she's not really, knowing too much of what's going on with the new generation is going to tap into and what they're going to understand. So like working with her on that and like even working with Nicki right now is like, I'm able to call her like, yo, you can do some hot. This person is hot. Like, let's tap into this. With me is that I like to really make sure that once I get into those situations, as Sean is saying, like I treat those situations and those artists very delicate. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they have their own sound, they have their own ways of work. You know what I'm saying? And then like for our generation, it's different. Like being 26, we're really trying to understand. A lot of the artists are older than us, so they're coming at us like, what's this? But at the same time, you don't want them to sound corny either. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to put certain artists on certain type of stuff now because it's like, okay, that's not really going to work. It's going to sound dated or they're chasing this in the culture. But like just being able to be to really
But see that's the misconception, D. Of let me tell you, somebody like Beyonce, she tapped in. Believe it or not, she might not let you know she tapped in, but she tapped in. They like that's the thing. That's the thing you got to always respect about greats. They know what they filled in. They don't play no games. Like ain't none of them trying to let nobody get in their zone. They be paying attention. They may not let you. Like she's just very smart, and so she allows you to come in and give everything you got. She's already like they're clear, especially Nicki. Like when I did Massive Attack, Nicki came in and told me what she wanted. I didn't create that song for her. Nicki wanted that song. They already know what they're looking for when they talk to you. You feel me? You can't misunderstand them. They're specialists. They're superstars.
That's my point. That's why I said it's delicate working with them because it's a different type of approach because they're already great. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to go in there and try to tell them what to do because they already know. The most you could do is throw, yo, this is going on. I think this would be dope if you tried it out. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it's delicate working with those type of artists because when you look at the stats and you look at the numbers and you look at what's going on, they've been doing it for years and years and years and years. And that's what that phrase was, they don't miss. So it's like you don't want to go in there. From my perspective, for me, because like I said, I don't really move like no songwriter. So my perspective, I don't really want to go in there and try to tell them too much what to do. I'm rather like, look, I'm gonna let y'all. If you like what I'm saying, not, we'll just move on to the next thing. But like I said, those type of artists, when I work with them, I treat those very delicate because of the level that they already put themselves at, and already knowing what they could do, and already knowing the reach that they have, and and just the power. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that when they were on the Savage remix, for example, OnlyFans was already hot, but girls really felt like, oh, I could do OnlyFans now and be on Demon Time because Beyonce said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain stuff like that where you know that they have that reach, and people are like, okay, well then where did she get that from? Or where did that part come from? So like I said, it's just got to be delicate on my approach going into those situations with those type of artists, rather than working, like I said, with the Fabios and the Pop Smokes and the Kianas, because they're still learning. So like as Sean said, when he got with Usher and he got with Chris Brown, like he was able to really get in there and coach, and like, you should do it like this, you should do it like this. It wasn't really, they couldn't really tell him too much. You know what I'm saying? Because he already proved himself.
I wanted to say, like, it's a very delicate. I think sometimes people really don't understand the title songwriting is not necessarily writing lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
It's vibe. It's understanding your position. So, and then being able to convince them that you're giving them something that's going to continue to curtail their brand and uplift their brand to another level, right? So with Usher, I know a lot of people have heard the story, or kind of heard the story, and you always hear bits and pieces. But Usher is probably like Usher, Chris, Beyonce. They're super smart people. Like they're to be a great performer, you have to have great you have to be very intellectual in reference to movement, in reference to vibe, and you got to have a sense of let me say it like this. They're just they know certain things that's going to fit into their DNA, and sometimes they get excited when you can articulate their brand within something that can elevate their brand. So with Usher, it's almost like I went Michael Jackson. Usher's aesthetic is Michael Jackson. Chris Brown's aesthetic is Michael Jackson. Nobody can deny that. Beyonce aesthetic. She ain't gonna want me to say this, so I ain't gonna tell you who her aesthetic is. But I know who her aesthetic is. No, seriously, it's serious, and she don't play with her brand, so she don't like, you know what I'm saying. But I know her aesthetic. I know her true aesthetic. So when I create records for her, I don't care who do records for her. I know I can go in and uplift her because I know her aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Our job as producers and songwriters, if that's my job, that's what I'm focused on. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like with Chris, like I will study everything that Chris is doing, and then I will create a song that will change Chris's switch, and I will send it to him. And 90% of the time, if he's not mad at me, or if there's no political clouds in the way, he's going to love it because he knows it fits his aesthetic and it elevates his aesthetic. You feel what I'm saying? So I want to be clear that like these are really intelligent superstars. They're not normal.
Right.
They're not normal. And we're not normal. And that might sound cocky, but we're not. Because you have to really take your time and pay attention. That I'll say this, the reason why music is not at the level that it used to be is because streaming is a crutch. It's a crutch.
Hold on,
So
we're gonna get into that. So, because you always answer something I'm about to ask in a second. So, you talked about like studying Chris Brown and knowing kind of what to give him. So, Derrick, I'm gonna throw this back on you. So, let's talk about like energy these sessions. So how important is energy in the session, even if you're in with the artist? And how are you managing your own expectations versus what the artist needs, like in these sessions?
You said like the energy, the vibe in the session?
In the session, and how do you kind of manage the energy? How do you manage the expectations of the session from, going into these sessions, the artist kind of knows your work. So how do you manage the expectation of who you are for what the artist needs, and how's the energy? How important is the energy in the session?
Usually first I got to make sure I come in the session dripped out. It depends on who I'm working on. If I know I'm working on some hip hop stuff, I know what people look at. You know what I'm saying? Like a certain artist is gonna be like, how he gonna tell me about diamonds if he don't got diamonds? How he gonna rap about this if he don't? So first of all, you gotta have the part. You gotta play the part. For me, that's how I move. And when I go to the session, I move like them. Like I'm not gonna be the corny person. I might come in the session and come with 3 girls, and they be like, "Yo, the girl, I thought it was just you." Like, oh no, they came with me. Even when I work with female artists, I might bring other girls just so they already know what we doing is business. I really try to play humble and really kind of let them take charge, because this whole thing is when at the end of the day it's still competition. So like when you go into certain sessions with certain artists, a lot of them really feel like they got a point to prove. So if they know what I worked on, and sometimes their A&R might have set it up, or it might just be like a producer, or they might have just hit me up like, "Yo, pull up to the session." They might already be working on something just to show me like, "Oh, I could do it," because I would do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then if they need help, it's like, "Yo, bro, can you take a shot at this?" That's like Ty Dolla $ign is like my brother. And I remember when I first got into the studio with him, I know Ty Dolla $ign is one of the most talented, amazing people of our generation. So, I'm like, what am I going to do for Ty? So I'm just sitting back, we chopping it up, and I'm just listening to him, and just learning the game. And then he'll work on something, and in the moment he's like, "Hey, bro, you think you could try something on this? You want to shoot at this?" Then that's for me to be like, "All right, bet. Let me come in here and let me show him that I know what I'm doing too." So we both on the same type time. So when I go in sessions, I really try to make artists feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, the last thing that you want to be is a vibe killer. The last person you want to be is the person who said, "Oh, I got to use the bathroom real quick." And as soon as you go to the bathroom, everybody in the studio like, "Bro, this dude got to go. Like, he's doing too much. He's trying to tell me how I'm supposed to do my thing." Like I said, certain artists that are willing to take that type of direction, and you'll know that when you get in with the artist, because they'll tell you. And certain artists is like Kiana Lede, who's amazing. Like when I got in working with her on the Kiki album, I was nervous because that was really my first time ever doing R&B. I was always getting looked at to do hip hop stuff. So working with Kiana, she was like, "Yo, I love your melodies, and I just like whatever you want to do. Let's just try it." So I'm like, "All right, well, here goes nothing. Let me try it out." So when we were in there, when we worked on that whole Kiki album, we did the album in 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
Like I said, that was my first time working on an R&B artist and then really developing a sound with her. She was willing to take direction. We collaborated. The vibe was right. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't tell her, "Oh, don't do that, sing it like this." It was like, "Hey, I feel like if you had a run right here, or you put an ad-lib right here, this would sound fire." She'd be like, "Well, what if your ad-lib's right here? Or what if you keep your melodies and then we pitch it up?" Like it was just, the vibe of it was just perfect, because everybody knew their role. Like Sean said before, everybody knew their role and everybody knew what part we had to play. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, for me, I really try to move in the session, like I said, as an artist. So I don't get looked at as me trying to tell them what to do.
Absolutely, that's dope. And it's not. I remember Kiana like posting something on IG, like Derek's like his spirit animal. Like you guys just connected. The vibes are crazy. So that's dope. So Sean, I got a great question for you, bro. And we're gonna kind of want to keep the conversation moving along. So for someone like you who's had number one after number one after number one, how you stay motivated to keep these making better records? Like is the mindset to outdo the last record, or just kind of walk us through that process?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always, I never been motivated about, only do the number shit. Excuse me, damn. I only do the number talk, because politics as usual.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people really think you forget what you do or forget what to do, and it's really funny. It's like amazing. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Like that's you really think I ran up on that, or it's like I enjoy working, man. It's life is about working, and it's about applying your ethics and your abilities. Anybody that's great, from Oprah to Jay-Z to anybody that's great, they study, man. If you think that these people ain't paying attention to everything that's going on, you're tripping. Because people that are specialists for a reason. So I love it. I love the competitiveness. I love, when a new person walks in the door, they're like, oh my God. And oh, well, this is the new guy, and this is the new dude, and this is the new this. I like it. I love it. I mean, it just makes me be like, damn, that's what you like? Great. Let me see what you can do with this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at the end of the day, it's about the consumer. We're in a consumer-based business. So I'm not into arguing, or I ain't doing none of that. I know the consumer will react, you know what I'm saying? The consumer
Right.
gonna react to that smoke. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't see this, I go in there with this sweatsuit I got on right now and smoke them. I don't have to have no chains on. I don't wear the biggest chains. I had the biggest diamonds. I had the first D8 Ferrari in America. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta do none of that. I'm coming in with that smoke. You know what I'm saying? I like to make people dance globally. Global. I'm on global dance. I'm on global vibe. I want to make you feel me. You know what I'm saying? I want to make the artist better, but at the same time, like, the blind can't lead the blind. Like, we gotta get realistic. Like, let's get realistic. I'm not coming in here to be your friend. I'm coming in here to give you that thing that's gonna make you be able to tour for the rest of your life. Do you want to rock or do you not? That's where I'm at. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm coming here trying to be your friend. I'm not coming here trying to be your friend. I would like to be your friend, but I'm not coming here to be your friend. I'm coming here to do a job. I'm a specialist. I'm a sharpshooter. And I love to watch. I love to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Because when you press play, everything changes. I've been in enough meetings. I know people that are great friends, but when the person walks in and play that thing, it get different. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to do my job. I want to do incredible music. I love the fans. I want the fans to be happy. I want the fans to be excited. I don't want to give any upcoming hit makers, I don't want to give them no false pretense on thinking I'm in there trying to be somebody's puppet. I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown is one of the best performers in the world, and we did Run in 2005. We did Gimme That in 2005. We did Ain't No Way in 2005. We did Water War in 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the best because he put in the work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about, I wasn't in there trying to be Chris Brown's friend. I was in there trying to get that boy the best thing I could possibly give him. And Chris Brown is one of the best superstars in the world because he put in the work, and he bought into somebody that wasn't his friend. He bought into their professionalism. This is a profession, and I think I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go on y'all real quick because I ain't got time to be playing. Listen, dog, all of that fake. I'm not. I love Derrick. That's my little brother. I ain't got time for the fake smoke. The real smoke is this. We're blessed enough to be in the music business. We're blessed enough to get an opportunity to shoot our best shot. Of course, being rich is a thought, an idea, but I'm trying to be a legend, and I'm trying to make the people that I'm working with legend. You can't make a person a legend. A person can't become a legend kissing your ass. Excuse my French, but you can't. That's not what it is. That ain't what it is. So we need to get out of that mind frame. I'm not, like, I think that's the biggest, like, it's whack, dog. It's professionals. If you go work in any other business, professionals, when you Ferrari, I don't take my Ferrari to Jiffy Lube. I take my Ferrari to the Ferrari dealership. Because if something go wrong with my Ferrari, I don't want you telling me when you change my oil at Jiffy Lube, oh, you forgot to put the nuts on tight enough, and now my oil that leaked out, and now my engine blew up. Because you work at Jiffy Lube. I'm taking my Ferrari to the Ferrari dealership. You know what I'm saying? And so if you don't have that mindset that I'm dealing with a Ferrari, even from the gate, then you have the possibility of taking the wrong perspective on the biggest superstar in the world. So I think sometimes the conversation of real superstar, stardom, and getting money has got confused. You know what I'm saying? To me, I feel like it's about getting money now. That's why we have less superstars. And that ain't my perspective.
Right. So let's take it to the beginning, because like we have a lot of inspiring artists, writers, producers, that's joining the webinar. So Derrick, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming songwriter trying to get into sessions? Like, how do they even start? What's the start?
I say the same thing every time I do one of these. Study who the A&Rs are on that perspective, because there's a lot of A&Rs in the music business, and a lot of them A&Rs are not popular. They're very good at what they do, but a lot of people don't know them. So, like, for example, on Instagram, a lot of the labels or a lot of the executives follow their A&Rs, and a lot of them don't follow too many people but the A&Rs and the people that work for their business. So I tell a lot of artists and upcoming songwriters and producers to straight up find who the A&R is, even in Atlanta, wherever you at, and just be like, look, this is what I do. What are you working on? How can I help you? Don't go in there automatically thinking, oh, I'm ready to write for the top artist. I'm ready to work for this. I'm ready to do that. Build your way up. Because at the end of the day, what you're gonna present is a bigger thing. You have already expectations to take it to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, how can I work this? Because I don't want to be friends with a lot of these artists. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, I go in there because I look at it more on the fact that it's like, okay, when you want to be great, you got to move great. If you want to be a king, you got to move like a king. I can go into a room in underwear and swipe and tear people up, but I feel good when I have my stuff on because I earned it. So when I go into stuff, hey, A&R, like, yo, what artists you got? What artists did you guys just sign? How can I, you know what I'm saying? How can I help you with that? Because the moment that you go in there, automatically trying to go for the top dog, they're going to already look at it, oh, it's an opportunity situation. So I would say be persistent, find out who the A&Rs are, and really play your role. When you know what you want to do, take the steps. Start off low. Take the baby steps. Don't try to automatically jump in and do the top stuff right away. Like, as soon as you go in there, it's like, okay, if they're going to put me with, this person they just signed from this random place, go in there,
right,
knock it out. If you know where you're going to end, you just got to keep working. A lot of people just give up. And a lot of people just have that mindset that it's impossible, and it's not. Right. It's not.
Absolutely. I think that's dope advice. Sean, before we go into the next topic, I want to kind of echo Derrick, like, for up-and-coming songwriters who look up to you, who study you, what's some advice you would give them, trying to get in this music industry, trying to get in sessions? What's the starting point for them?
Sometimes I feel like I'm too honest. Listen, man, this game is not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's big money, it's big moments. You can change your whole family's life. This ain't about being flashy. This ain't trying to put on. Man, you better go in there with that. You better do your game. You better study. This your chance out of the. This your chance out of the hood. This your chance out of. I'm from the hood, dog. I'm from Camilton Road. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. we're on public TV. Listen, dog. I'm from the hood, man. You know, I'm from the struggle, and I know what the struggle. My mama from the struggle, so you know, I don't take none for granted. I ain't finna sit here and talk to nobody about. My perspective is just different. I took, man, my first shot, man. I tried to swing that ball so hard. I tried to knock that ball so far out the stadium, dog. When I got the work with Usher, it took me 2 months to cut that record on Usher. I wasn't even playing. I knew that ball went out the stadium. I ain't care nothing about what nobody was talking about. Because I knew when I pressed play, I knew what was going to happen with the fans. I don't know. Like, it's just today, it's just fugazi. That like all of these other things matter. What matters more than a smash, dog?
So listen, but
I gotta come in there. I gotta come in there with a nigga. I gotta walk in there with a fur on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not walking in with a fur on. I'm not pulling up I'm not gonna pull up in a Rolls for you to respect me. I do hits, cuz. Do you want to rock or don't you? You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
it's a lot of artists out here.
I want let's talk about the question though. Like, what for the
upcoming songwriter? I answered the question.
So,
the question
you're
was,
saying,
what advice do I have? What advice do I have for young upcoming songwriter producers? My answer is, study the game.
Okay.
Study what came before you. Study what hit records are. Don't like man, stop all of the clout chasing and trying to. Hey, if that ain't it, that ain't it.
Okay.
What you wearing ain't got nothing to do with what where you gonna be at 10 years from now. That ain't.
I mean, you was an artist. Hold on. This is my thing. If you was an artist, so when you came into a room and people see you as an artist, how you move though?
Let me tell you.
How you move?
I'm gonna say this, not to change your platform, but let me and my little brother bang a little bit so we can make sense of this. You know what I'm saying? Because his perspective is his perspective, which is a very important perspective. But my perspective, I'm a result-driven person. Result-driven. Results. What's the result? That's what we need for our generation. That's what we need for our people. What is the result? So let's I'm result-driven. So I want to answer your question, Derrick. What were you saying to me?
Now I was saying, because you're an artist. So when you first came in and you had your artist stuff, how were you moving? You wanted to be respected as an artist, as your brand.
I hadn't earned no respect. You can't ask for respect when you ain't earned it. The only thing that generates respect is results. You and your emotions when you asking somebody to respect you when you haven't put up no points. Kobe could never talk to Jordan until Kobe, God rest his soul, showed that he had the ability to even win. Jordan would allow you to conversate with him because y'all ain't even on the same level. Jordan's winning. He's not living where you living, bro, when you ain't winning. He's not driving what you driving when you not winning. So why is you trying to converse? See, and that's the problem with us. We wanna come into the game because we put a chain on and feel like, yo, dog, I deserve to, the respect, son. You know what I mean? I need the respect. Nigga, ain't no respect. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. On the language. Ain't no respect. Ain't no respect until you earn it. Well, you know what they made me do? They made me earn it. Yo, it wasn't until my first 5 number ones that people even start respecting me. They didn't even know what I looked like. You got today, cats come in there and say, I'm a hit maker. I'm a GOAT. You a GOAT? GOAT? You know, the word GOAT has been, I don't even want to be called a GOAT no more, cuz. I don't want to be called no GOAT. You know why? Y'all giving the name out too soon. Y'all giving out these credit cards. Executives, New executive, your responsibility is to hold up standards. This game is built on standards. Standards. Score. Score. Then, you know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody's daddy. I ain't trying to daddy nobody. I'm just saying, dog. Let's keep our dream alive. Let's keep the money flowing. You know how you keep the money flowing? Hits. Smashes. Smashes, bro. Not self-proclaimed smashes. Chart smashes. Blowing the chart up to the point where they can't stop but talk about you. That's what it's all about. Then you can start putting on the coats and the chains and the cars. Then you can do that. Earn your right to be in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's a big brother conversation. Not to you, Derrick. You know I love you. You know I respect you. You know what I'm saying? You came to my house. It's just the answer to Wu. Wu said, what is my advice? Because you know what? Honestly, do you think it's fair for a new track producer to come in the game and start charging somebody 10 bands and they never had a hit song? Are you serious? You don't make 10 bands doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn it, dog. We keep giving these credit cards out. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the people who put the, and I ain't talking about me. I'm going to go get mine. Yeah, either way. But I'm saying you got to train it right, dog. Like and you know what you do? You water your game down. You water your game down. I wasn't around here telling people who I was and what I was going to do. I was talking about records. That's all I was ever doing. Hey, you hear that record? That's going to change the world. Not because I'm God, because I really believed in my work. Not about what I was driving or what I was wearing. No, dog. We're giving out fall. That's not going to make people better. It's not going to make them better. It's going to make them disappointed.
So Sean, look, I respect both perspectives. I mean, I think, you're in a certain generation, Derrick, a part of the new generation.
No,
but listen,
that ain't generation, Whoop. That's common sense.
It's common sense, but it's different perspectives. And I think the people even in the chat box are, kind of.
But I'm saying don't make me the wizard. I'm not trying to sit here, and this is not against this. You asked me, I got 52 number ones and 18 Hot 100 number one. You understand? I'm not popping. You see how you laugh? Because
I'm
like, oh, there he go popping again. But you try doing that. Try it. Tell me how long it takes you to do that. You feel me? That's not a shot at you. That's not a shot at you. It's just, if we're gonna be fair to our people, we're in the middle of a pandemic. When I first met Swiss, hold
on, Sean. We don't. I got a question about that. I want to keep the conversation going, because, like I said, we got people here to learn.
Like I said, this is all positive. This is sometimes people.
Go ahead.
People misunderstand conversation. Whenever our people talk, we always get misunderstood. It's almost like being stopped by a cop. Oh, he's being aggressive. No, we're not being aggressive. We're just being articulate. We just don't agree with being boxed. So I don't agree with my people being boxed in as that we are limited to the idea of being able to be creative superstars and it's being based on certain things. No, that's not us, man. We better than that.
I agree. Like I said, I respect both perspectives. You know what I mean? I see both sides of it, because I'm more on.
My perspective is not against Derrick. Is
Absolutely.
What I'm trying to say. It's not both perspectives. My perspective is not against Derrick. When you ask me a question, I'm giving a general response. It's not a Derrick do what Derrick do. And that's why his name is Derrick Milano. You know what I'm saying? Sean Garrett do what Sean Garrett do. Because, you know what I mean? But I love him. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to be pit against him. I'm not pit against him. He got his way of doing things. And I think sometimes people, when you say there's two perspectives, then it's like A and B. You know what I'm saying? No, I love Derrick. Whatever Derrick did to keep his money going and was getting him his opportunities, that's his thing. What's mine is my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want to be pit against none of my brothers no more. I don't want to do that.
And we're not gonna do that. So
I don't want to do that.
That's you know, Sean, it's all love. It's all love.
Yo, dog, this is for the fans. We gotta be honest and we gotta be fair to them. It's a lot of these kids out here, dog, that's walking up in these sessions, dog, and walking out of there with their heads down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we can't keep doing this to them. They're frustrated. They're upset why they're not in the game. They're upset why they don't have opportunities to be, considered good. I know them. They talk to me all the time. Derrick, did you not come to my house a half ago, Derrick?
Yeah, I was there.
Derrick was there. You know what I'm saying?
I was there.
And they come to me, and this be the whole point. They come to me. See, this the part that I get a little perturbed about. It's okay to talk to me when you ain't on. Don't change when you on. I'm still the same. Ain't none of my number ones changed. I'm just trying to say, let's teach, yo, man, this is a lifetime. It's a lifetime. It's a miracle. Raise them right. If we don't give them the right information, we're not helping them. We're not helping them. It's a waste of time for this interview if we're not going to give them the truth. If you don't want the truth, I don't want to talk. I got other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? But I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I want Derrick to not just be successful. I want Derrick to be great. Chris is great. You know why Chris Brown is great and Usher is great?
Hold on, Sean. Hold on. Because I know you get it going. Because look, we gotta
No, I ain't getting it going.
We gotta
tell you simple. It's a simple quick answer.
No, we got
They have people around them that Mark Pitts. You know who that is?
Yeah.
He's a GOAT. He's a real GOAT. You know why? Because when Usher veers off, you know who comes back in the center? Mark. When Chris Brown veers off, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, we got to, and those are the guys that raised me. So Derrick know who that is. So if we're going to be talking to the kids, we're going to talk to the next songwriter, next hit maker, next producer. We got to give them the conversation that's real, Woo. And that's all I'm doing.
Absolutely. So I put up a slide, the next topic I want to kind of go into is like the business side. Let's kind of go into publishing deals. For the people who don't know, kind of just give them to build a stage. Publishing deals, there are different companies out there that will give you an advance up front. In return, they will take a percentage of your back end royalties. We have what we call admin situations where you're not solely giving over all of your rights, but they'll give you, there are some companies that will give you an advance up front in exchange for taking a small percentage for collecting your royalties worldwide. So let's kind of talk about just the business side of being a songwriter. Derrick, we're going to give you the floor. I'm pretty sure they want to know, most songwriters are just up and coming creators in general. How do you go about discussing splits? When is the right time to talk about it? Should that be something your manager or lawyer deal with? Should you deal with the manager, the artist directly? Let's kind of talk about how you go about discussing splits and what's the right time to talk about it.
That's a hard topic.
We're gonna get into it. That's what they here for.
People's feelings get hurt when it comes to splits. Boy,
let's get into
it. I'm telling you. I just pass it off to my management team, my A&R. I tell them everything that I want. I tell my lawyer everything that I want, so I don't look like the bad guy. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I let them handle all that part and just relay the message for me rather than me say it, because that coming from my A&R or coming from my management or coming from my lawyer makes more sense for me saying, oh, I want 30% of this record or 40% of this record because I wrote the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? my A&R going into it and saying, yo, this is what Derrick, what did Derrick do on the record? Then they say, oh, he did this. Okay, well, for that, this is what he should get on his splits. It looks more professional and it looks better. I usually don't like dealing and talking about splits with the artist, just because it's a very sensitive situation. Because, like I said, some artists automatically feel like because they're bigger than you, they need more percentage. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want your name dug in the dirt when people are saying, "Oh, don't be doing this with this person," because when it comes down to splits, they're always going to try to finesse you out of your publishing. You know, I didn't even know about publishing, bro, until like 2 years ago, bro. Like, to be honest with you, I thought you only could get a record deal. You feel me? Like, I didn't even know that there was a whole side of songwriting. I didn't know you can get loans from BMI. I had no idea about none of that. My whole thing was record deal. So when I found out about publishing, you know, it's a great situation when you want to start off, but make sure that your contract is done right so you can get in and get out and then do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, some people have publishing and signed to people, bro, for years and years and years and years and years. And they got to bust down what they're doing with other people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like when it comes down to the publishing, it comes down to the split, know the business and really let your team, your management, everybody just be in tune on what's going on, but really understand what's coming down when it comes down to these splits and all that stuff. Because publishing is a very sensitive situation.
Absolutely.
Very.
Absolutely. And we deal with it day in, day out. Sean, I got a business question for you. I think this is a very sensitive topic as well. You know, should producers give a percentage of their producer fee to songwriters if the songwriter gets a song played?
Are you serious?
We're gonna talk about it. Listen, we got to think about it. We got a lot of upcoming people who don't really know the music. So let's start. Let's get them a cookie cutter answer. You know, just how to go about this.
I was being funny.
Yeah. So, how you feel about that?
Well, listen, let me say this for the fans, since there's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of things that I may say that you may not be accustomed to, but I'm just gonna keep it real, dog. I'm one of the people that was a trailblazer in getting songwriters paid. So, do you not understand the bullets that I had to take? You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand the fight that I had to, you know what I'm saying, actually be involved with? So, you know, I'll say this. I can only speak for myself from this perspective. I think some songwriters are producers, and I think some songwriters aren't producers.
Mm-hmm.
I think some creatives, you know, and the reason why I say that is because I don't want to. That's a very, very interesting and touchy um, space, because when I came in the game, I was producing records as a songwriter. And what I mean by producing records, I was producing records, vocals, arranging, changing, a whole new like vibe. And it ain't even about like I'm a collaborative producer. I love collaborating. The one thing I was always about, it wasn't about myself. Whenever I did records like Ring the Alarm, Check Up on It, Get Me Body, Upgrade You with Swiss Beats, me, him, and Beyonce were producers on the record. Because we really produced the records. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With me and Scott Storch, I feel like it was a thing that a person that did a track would allow a person to come in and write a song and place the person who wrote the song in a position to where they had to wait until the song performed to where the songwriter could make some money. I mean, honestly, dog, that just wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, if the track don't feel right, I'm changing that. I'm not even going in to work on that, because that's not going to bring us success. A producer is a person who thinks it out, who has an idea of where the record should be, what the record should do, how the record should feel. That's a producer. I just think it's unfair. It's an unfair, it's almost damn near unfair question, because everybody ain't the same. And if you're not going to allow me to, I was just saying a few minutes ago, it tied into this conversation. But when you limit the conversation, then you allow there to be some room for, they got to get the whole story. You know how they edit? It's a thing called edit. When they
Right.
You're gonna miss something.
No, I get you.
So every songwriter, I don't know if you're a producer, bro. I don't know. To
Okay.
answer
Well,
let's
let's put it in scenario.
I fought for Derrick Milano to get paid. I'm the reason why Derrick Milano getting paid. I'm the reason why Esther Dean getting paid. I'm the reason why The Dream getting paid. I'm the reason why all of these cats getting paid, because they watch me. And before me, there was Missy. Missy was getting paid. You feel me? Static was getting paid. You feel me? These are icons. You feel me? So it's a touchy conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what every songwriter do when they go in the studio. I don't know what they can do.
Right.
But I think it's unfair. Do I think it's unfair for certain people to get paid when they're doing work, and the other person that's not getting paid when they're doing work to contribute to it work and not get paid? That's a problem to me.
But put it in,
I don't want to get in it. That's not my.
I was gonna say, to put it in the scenario. Let's say, Derrick, producer sends you a record, you write to the record, you get that record placed on the artist. Do you think it's fair for you to get a part of the producer percentage fee?
Of course, I do, because you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the play wouldn't have got done, if it didn't go that route. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie to you.
You can't go use his
Yeah,
vibe.
you know what I'm saying?
What are you gonna do? Like what? Like that's just not even.
Right.
And I thought this was songwriting 101. If it's songwriting 101, let us give the info, bro. We not gonna kill ourselves. We know how to talk. But here's because the tough part is, some of these people are walking in not doing the work, and they want to get paid, which is going to water down the real. You feel me? That's why it's such a touchy situation. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, I work my tail off. I'd have been in sessions, man, for 14, 15 hours at a time. You understand? Night in and night out. I'm not walking out of there and not getting paid, because it ain't even happening. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, how do you want us to, that was one of the things that motivated Chris Hicks. I'm gonna say his name. Chris Hicks was, at the time when I came in the game, Chris Hicks was, I think it was the president of Warner Chapel, and he was the CEO at Noontime. And I love Chris Hicks because Chris Hicks used to manage and he housed some of the greatest creatives, Jazzy Faye, Jonte Austin, who is the person that I looked up to as one of the amazing songwriters. And he had Ted, he had man, he had a Noontime they had a lot of amazing creatives. And so I was sort of like one of the kids that was just like, ain't no way I'm doing these songs and I'm not finna get paid. It just ain't no way. So, you know, my point is I was putting in the work, not to take away from anything that anybody else is doing. Babyface put in the work. It ain't just what was happening in Atlanta. Babyface is Babyface, dog. Them the people I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, we as people, we outdate ourselves and we start talking about, oh, the new generation. We don't need to separate ourselves by generations, dog. We need to separate. We don't never need to separate ourselves. We need to talk about ourselves as a people. You understand? Because when we divide ourselves and then we get divided, guess what we are? Divided. It's important for us to be mindful of what came before us so we can continue to fight and we can be stronger. It ain't about us contracting from our growth. I ain't in competition with Derrick. I love Derrick. I'm supposed to give Derrick more game. I'm supposed to help him get stronger. Now, we might compete on record, but I'm not competing with him on business. Why?
Thanks.
Why am I competing with him on business? That's my little brother.
Facts. I agree.
So that's why it's important to articulate properly. That's why education is important. To say that you do music or you play sports and education ain't important, it's not true. Education, articulation is important.
I agree. I'm gonna do one more question because we gotta get out of here about 8:15, 8:20, 8:15 at the latest. Let's kind of real quick. Let's kind of just talk about co-pub versus admin. I kind of touched on what it is, the difference between the two. I want to get you guys just opinion. You know, what are the key factors in deciding to do either a co-publishing deal or an admin deal? Kind of talk about the pros and cons. Derrick, you can start. You can lead off first.
Of a publishing deal?
Yeah, just co-pub on a co-pub versus admin deal. You know, what are the key factors kind of lead you to either or? Obviously, I know you were APG, you locked in. So,
yeah. It's good when you, like I said, like I said, man, when it comes to publishing, bro, it's like, you know, I really don't, because I'm still so new into the music business side. I don't really like speaking on it because everybody's situation is different. Like,
absolutely.
Like coming in, you might need a co-pub because it gets you in situations that you might need. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, I would love to do an admin deal. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff I'm doing by myself. I shouldn't have to split my. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy who brought me in and gave me the opportunity to do what I'm able to do. But you know, everybody's situation is different. If you coming in, here's my advice. If you coming in with a hot record and people are calling you and you know your leverage, do an admin deal. But if you're on the fence and you don't know if you might have another opportunity or you don't know how to get the records out and they're excited because they know that you might have something or they like your talent, take a co-pub. But like I said, if I could, you know what I'm saying, move a little different, I would understand the admin side.
If I knew then what I know now.
Right. So, Shud, I'll let you echo Derrick. What just, you know, like I said, we got a lot of people who on this call who just starting off. Some people maybe getting their 1 or 2 placement. What's your thoughts on, co-pub admin situation?
I love you, Wolf.
I love you too.
Well, number one, we on a publishing platform. Let's keep that in mind.
No, we'll get into that later. But Songwriters, our admin company for sure.
Yeah. We on a no. I said that. I said respect. Hey man, listen, dog. Let me tell you, man. I love my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always be I'm gonna die being real, guys. I love my guy. I love y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be real with the fans. A lot of the fans is chiming in. Y'all want to know the truth. That's what this platform is for. So I'm gonna always keep it honest. I think Derrick said Derrick, that was a really great answer. That was really a great answer. I'm really proud of you, actually. That was a great answer because he's right. Everything in life is about leverage, and it's about your position. It's about your situation. And, a lot of times, when you're a little stern, you're not being stern because you're trying to steal the show. You're trying to get your point across. Sometimes you have to fight for hit records. Out of the 52 number 1 records I've had, I had to fight for probably 60. I had to probably fight for like 42 of them, like to come out. Congressman John Lewis died, and the reason why we all love him and respect him is because he was consistently fighting for us to have this opportunity to be on this, be in the music business, to be seen. Opinion, I feel like free to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So not there, it brings it back. You having the choice of doing an admin deal or a co-pub deal is for the people who came before us. You know what I'm saying? What people fought for. James Brown, losing his publishing or having to fight, or his estate having to fight for his publishing. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of other creatives that came before. I think it's wise to educate yourself on the difference between a co-pub deal and a admin deal. And again, that goes back to education, which was what I was talking about earlier. Educating yourself. We have to, even though these things might seem boring, or these things may seem like cut to the chase, Sean, let's talk about what we want to hear. But these are the things that you really want to talk about first. You don't want to talk about this later after you just signed the deal. I heard some artists saying, hey man, I don't even look at the words in the contract. I just signed the deal. Now you back in the public eye 5 years later, having a conversation about what happened. You feel me? So this is important. Publishing is a part of your life. It's a business. It's real estate. A co-pub deal you can do, and that's half of your publishing, pretty much. You're splitting it 50-50, damn near.
50-50.
Admin
if they have
deal,
with it.
an admin deal, you're kind of licensing out your work, which is for a 10% fee. You feel me? That's different.
Let's not throw out numbers. Every company is different, all right? Everybody's different. You can leverage, different percentages, but I don't want to throw out exact numbers because every company is different.
Give it a take a number.
Right. Right, for sure. Cool. All right, so go ahead. You can finish up.
I just want to say, man, Like we just got to be real with each other, man. And you know, I'm really proud. I mean, I know we're wrapping this up, man, but I'm really proud of Derrick. Derrick, you know, I'm proud of you, bro. I want to see you win. I want to see everything you deserve. Shout out to my man Chris, who helped you really pop off. You know what I'm saying? And all of the people that helped you. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the people that helped you, Whoop. You know what I'm saying? You know you're my brother, and whenever you do something, you know, I'm gonna be there to help you. But look, man, let's not get this confused, guys. We are definitely in a we are in a position to help our families, and we're in a position to grow. And I think it's just always important whenever we get this opportunity to speak on a platform. It's important to be real with the people that's coming up behind us and give them some sort of hope. And I think just sometimes giving them the information is not enough. Sometimes you got to inspire them with something that's real to them. And I know that people can relate to where we're coming from when we talk to them in our language. So I'm just not really like a sugarcoating type person. So it's time for us to tell them what the real struggle is, because it's hard. It's not necessarily easy, especially when you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and you end up trying to, you know, if you legit conversation that change your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So we're gonna go into just a quick Q&A. I'm gonna pull some questions from the chat box. I think I'm gonna wait on Good. Come back just a few seconds. But we're gonna try to keep these answers, let's say like under 30 seconds, real rapid fire. Just I'm gonna throw them at you guys, answer one apiece, and we'll keep it pushing. So Derrick, this is the first one. Like I said, let's keep it under 30 seconds. Try to get up out of here real quick. Do you prefer sending reference tracks versus actually working in the studio with the artist, or how do you feel about sending over demos to labels and artists?
Man, look, if you have the relationship with the artist, send it to the artist directly. You pulling up to the studio, get it done like that. Some A&Rs are playmakers, and some A&Rs are for Instagram. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sean, quick, your advice to a new up-and-coming songwriter. Someone asked, how do you go about getting demos to an artist?
Direct connect, straight to the consumer. So I don't play with my music, dog. You know what I mean? You know, one song could change your life. You know what I mean? So if you just inspect what you expect. I say it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just very important to be really direct with what you're trying to do. If you got a record that you feel like can really work, you got to make sure that you talking to, and give it to who you think you giving it to.
Okay. I'll let both of you guys answer this question. I'm pretty sure everybody want to know this. How do you work through writer's block? Derrick, go first.
I go out of town.
So changing the scenery just to see something different, kind of switch up the vibe. Okay. Because everybody don't have the luxury of going out of town. So, someone who's, working out of the mom basement, son, how do you work through writer's block? Like,
I use my time wisely. I don't write songs unless it's time to write songs. I don't just do song after song after song. That shit is, excuse my language. I don't do it. I try to do the song. I don't try to do a lot of songs. I just do the song.
Okay. That's actually me. You never really talked about it, but I've never heard that perspective from you. So that's actually pretty dope. Derrick, real quick. I mean, obviously both of you guys can talk to this too. Like I said, both of you guys are artists, and you're known for your songwriting capability. But talk about balancing your career both as an artist and a songwriter. How do you kind of manage the time between doing both?
You know, when you know it's a record for you, you know it's for you. But at the same time, I'm not selfish with records either. If I have a record that I'm in love with and I know it can work for somebody else, you know what I'm saying? I'll pass it off. But you know, I just try to. It's hard to say because I try not to work with too many like men artists. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only a few, and their sounds are completely different from my sound. A lot of artists who they would technically kind of put like my sound with, I probably won't work with them just because it's like y'all coming to try to get that sauce, and y'all got to figure it out. That's where the competition side to come out. When you be on some like, I'm not about to help this person out and give him my sound if he can't figure it out. If my time isn't right now, it's gonna be on the next time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their time. Everybody has their time. So, you know.
Gotcha, Sean. I'll let you echo Derrick. How do you balance between, you know, your artistry and, you know, your songwriting?
I mean, you know, I had to learn. I've learned to, you know, when I'm in hit making mode, I'm in hit making mode. I ain't trying to say nothing. I'm trying to give them everything they need. You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe in being true to being a creative for stars. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I love the idea of being able to create for other people. Like, I love it. And it's a passion thing. That's why I guess I'm probably a little bit more sensitive and it's when it comes to somebody not taking it serious, because I really do take my to perfect an opportunity for another artist. When I'm working on my stuff, I know I'm working on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't just I don't feel like, you know, Break Up was my song. That was my record for the first single off of my Inkwell album. I just decided to help Mario out. And I had love for him, and my friend, you know, his manager was cool, and he asked me to share that record with him. It had nothing to do with nobody else, just a relationship with his manager, and then you know, I mean, that was just from my heart, dog. I don't normally do that.
Right. So, two more, and we're gonna wrap it up. I think this is a common question that a lot of people ask from a songwriting perspective. Should you copyright your demos? Is that important?
I wouldn't say. You said copyright it?
Yeah. Should you copyright protect your demos before you send them out?
I mean, I never would say that, but I would say to copyright the phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some songs that I worked on that I was like, I should have sent this to the Library of Congress, because as soon as you come up with something and that's the word, you get T-shirts, merch. They put it in commercials. It's like, so that's like the next thing that I'm on. Like, if I'm gonna write a song that's a catchphrase or something that's brand new that people aren't saying, I'm a copyright the phrase. You know what I'm saying? Because immediately that's you start sitting back like, merch for that? Y'all wasn't even thinking about merch for that. And then the merch is going crazy. You going outside, everybody got on the shirts. Forever 21 got the saying on your stuff now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, trademark it, the whole thing, send it to the Library of Congress, and like really, like that's what I'm on. On the demo side, it's kind of like, this is my physical proof. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if you're gonna go out your way to disrespect me like that, you know, it's some people that might do it, but you know, it's gonna be hard to go against, especially what's going on right now with the technology that we have. Our computers document everything. Pro Tools documents everything. Like, It could be a little vocal thing that you did 4 years ago that you can see, oh, it was done this date, this date, this date. So much stuff that you can use now that I wouldn't really say that, but trademark and copyright and trademark, all that, the new phrases if you come up with something, because you don't know what could be used in any.
Okay. Now that's dope. I think that's super dope advice. Two more and we done, I promise you. So Sean, I'm gonna give you one and I'm gonna give you guys both one to answer at the end. So Sean, someone asks, how do you improve your songwriting skills and stay fresh in the industry? How do you keep evolving to stay fresh?
Every day, it's like an athlete. You know what I mean? You got to train your muscle every day. Every day. I'm in the studio every day. As you can see, I'm in my studio. You know what I mean? In the studio every day. It's period. It's period. You know what I'm saying? I'm so competitive. I'm so excited about, life is just, what's the long-windedness, the thought that people feel like conversation is long-winded or too much talking. When you stop listening is when you stop learning. And a lot of times you can be great if you just listen. If you just stop being impatient and putting yourself in a position where your patience is outweighing your knowledge. So working your muscle every day is important. Working your thought process and communicating is really important. And those that don't communicate are generally at a loss for words and a lack of knowledge. And unfortunately, we wasn't taught that in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's important to work on your craft every single day. If you're not working on it, it's the same thing. Kobe, if you notice, sometimes when you go to my gram, I post Mike Tyson, I post Michael Jordan. It's just athletic mindset. It's just training the muscle every day. Every day. Repetition makes for greatness, and you got to stay ready.
Absolutely. I agree. And the last question I'm gonna throw at you guys is I'm trying to see if I got two good questions. I guess we can end it on this note. Let's see. Which song have you written as your favorite and why?
That's a Sean gotta go first.
I'm not moving.
I want to know, bro, because he got too many. I need to know.
I love all my songs. You know what I'm saying? I love all my songs, dog. And I'm always thinking moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm never stuck in the past. What I did is what I did. And I'm just excited about tomorrow. I'm just excited about music, man. I'm just thankful and privileged to just be able to create and to have people that's excited to listen, And so, again, I think like I told y'all, man, I'm probably gonna refrain from. I don't want nobody to call me no GOAT no more, because I think that title's been watered down. So I'm just gonna say this, man. I just want to thank all of the I want to thank y'all for this platform, and I want to thank all of the record executives for giving me the opportunity to create records, and I want to thank all the artists that I got a chance to work. And I think it's important for all the new young producers, songwriters to just study the game. Just study the game. There's some quick, you always want to enhance, you know what I'm saying? You always want to get better. You always want to make the opportunity better, but at the same time, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. You got to decide on what game is short game, term game. And every time I say something, I'm only saying it from my heart and just with love. Some people don't care nothing about helping anybody else, you know what I'm saying? But I really other people enjoy. I'm only doing this because I love the people. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? I could just be like don't care, but I really do care, you know what I'm saying? I want the every day I'm outside, I get artists, songwriters, producers. They always ask me, Sean, can you help me? Can you show me? Can you? And that means a lot to me because people really do want to know. They want help. So whenever I get this type of platform, I always try to give them a little bit more knowledge that can help them. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think it's important to just study. Like you have everything. It was way more difficult before social media became so everyday life for us. Imagine trying to shoot these guns when you had no information. You know what I'm saying? It really was just about the best song. If you take that same concept and add that to the concept of what you have in front of you, I mean, it should be great. That should make you better. It should make you work less. You know what I'm saying? So I think keeping those same ethics, work really hard, study your game, and step your goals up. You know what I'm saying? Like step the bar up. You could do amazing things. Just do amazing. Just find things to put yourself in a position where you always comfortably happy. You know what I'm saying? Upbeat. You know what I mean? I like to go work out while I'm listening to music and thinking about ideas. You know, I remember when you said like, what about writer's block? I never get writer's block. Never. Because I don't spend my time trying to make myself create a song. I'm happy generally when I'm creating a song because I'm excited because I step away from it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm in it, I know those things that matter. The hook got to be exciting. The feeling got to be exciting. But when you do it every day and you're not really like giving yourself time to really breathe and really come back to it, it's almost like a math problem. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to step away from that math problem and come back to it. When you come back to it, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a different process. You might go put your mind on something else. And then when you come back to it, you can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So
no, absolutely.
That would be my suggestion.
Well, I want to thank both of y'all for being a part of this webinar. I think it was dope to kind of hear, definitely, like I said, two goats in my eyes. I know, Sean, you don't want to be called a goat anymore, but I'm gonna call you a goat. I just want to thank both of y'all for being a part of this. I think people